Last class, we discussed on our mathematics, we discussed on simultaneous equations. Under the simultaneous equation, we let ourselves to understand that simultaneous equation has substitution method, elimination method, the graphical method, and one simultaneous, one linear equation, which is known as problem solving in simultaneous equation. We have discussed on simultaneous, we have discussed on substitution within a simultaneous equation, and we have discussed on elimination method in simultaneous equation. So today we are looking at word problem leading to linear and quadratic equation. If we are saying word problem in linear to quadratic equation, that implies that we are using a word problem to solve linear equation. Now, for example, we have the product of two numbers is 12. The sum of the larger number and twice the smaller number is 11. Find the two numbers. Now, in that, if we are going to solve that, we have to because this question is giving us 2-in-1 solution. Why? Because we have to solve the larger number. We don't know the two numbers. We have to what? We have to find what? The larger number, and likewise the smaller number. Now, the larger number, we now make it what? X. That is, we now make the small number 1. So in this case, according to what? Substitution method, we now say that what? X, y is equals to 12. Based on what? Based on the statement given to us that what? That the product of two numbers is what? Is 12. This is the two numbers, x and y, which is equals to what? 12. We can now call it what? Equation what? 1. To now proceed, they now say the sum of the larger number and twice the smaller number is what? 11. That is, we can now say that what? X is what? The larger number. And what? Plus 2y, which is known as what? The small number, is equals to what? Is equals to 11. That is twice the small number. Because we say here that what? Let y be what? The small number. And we now have twice the smaller number, which is to say that what? Plus what? 2y is equals to what? 11. Then we now say we call that equation 2. Now, from our equation 2 now, according to what? According to our substitution method, for our equation 2, we can now say that what? X is equals to what? X is equals to 11 minus 2y. By bringing what? By bringing this what? Down here to make what? X the subject of the formula. Now, haven't we now get that? We label it as what? Equation 3. Now, that is to say, we now substitute for x in what? Into what? Equation what? Equation 1. We now have y is equals to what? If you look at equation 1, which is what? X, y is equals to 12. Now, wherever we now see what? Our x, we now substitute with what? We substitute with 11 minus what? 2y. So now, from there, we can now say y is equals y into the bracket 11 minus what? 2y, which is equals to what? 12. To now open the bracket, we can now say 11y minus what? 2y squared is equals to what? 12. Now, from this moment, we can now say to now break it back. We can now say that what? Since we have gotten this. This as what? Leads to what? Quadratic equation. So now, how do we now solve the quadratic equation? I can now take it back to what? To this equation by saying y is equals to what? Y is equals to y into the bracket what? 11 minus what? 2y. Cover the bracket minus what? 12 is equals to what? 0. That is, by bringing what? By bringing 12 into what? Over its inequality. When 12 goes over its inequality, we now the sign here will change to what? Minus. To now proceed, we can now say 11y minus what? 2y squared minus 12 is equal to what? 0. Let us now rearrange because it's scattered this way. Let us now rearrange. If we now rearrange, we now have here. What's here? That is minus what? 2y. We now bring what? The minus 2y. Minus 2y squared plus what? 11y minus what? 12 is equal to what? 0. 2y, yeah. We can now say, since we now work, what we now to do is we are going to look for what? For the product of 11 and the sum of what? The sum of 12. If you are going to look for that, that is to say, we now have what? 8y and what? 3y. So, from here, we can now bracket this and bracket this. If we bracket it, we have 2y. 2, that is the common factors here. What are the common factors in this one? In these two man here. If we bracket it here like this, we bracket it like this. What is the common factors between this first bracket here? If you look at this graph very well, what is the common factor of this one, of this? We have what? 2 and what? Y. Then we can now say 2y into the bracket will remain what? Y minus what? 4. We cover the graph. Then here minus. What's the common factor here? The common factor here is what? 3. Then we have 3 into the bracket, into a bracket what? Y minus what? 4. We cover the graph. Is equal to what? 0. Thank you. Now, let us now pack everything inside what? Inside a big graph. Now we can now bring this man and this man together. We have what? 2y minus what? 3. Let us cover the graph. Another graph. We have what? Pick any of these. We now have y minus what? 4 is equal to what? 0. Now from here we can now say that what? We can now say our 2y is equal to what? Is equal to 2y minus 3 is equal to 0. Or we have y minus 4 is equal to 0. Let this 3 goes over its inequality. That is, we collect what? The like terms. We now have 2y is equal to what? 3. Or we have y is equal to 4. Therefore, we can now say y. Let us use 2 to divide both sides. We have y is equal to what? 3 all over 2. Or 4 is equal to what? Y is equal to 4. Therefore, we have gotten what? The first word, the first answer there. Now, the second one, when y is equal to what? Is equal to 3 all over 4. That is to say, we now back to what? We now back to where we are coming from. In what? In the second equation, in equation what? Equation 3. We now substitute for what? For our what? For our y. Wherever we see y, we substitute for it. Then we have x is equal to 11 minus what? 2y. Now, what is our y here? We can answer x is equal to 11 minus what? 2 into brackets 3 all over 2. X is equal to 2, we cancel 2 here. We now remain what? 3, which is what? 11 minus what? 3. X is equal to what? 8. Now, when our y is equal to what? 4, we have x is equal to 11 minus 2y. X is equal to 11 minus 2 into the bracket what? 4. Then x is equal to 11 minus what? 8. 2 times 4 give us what? 8. X is equal to what? 3. That is to say, the two numbers given to us, we have what? The first number is what? X, we have 8 into bracket what? A comma 3 all over what? 2 for the first one. Then the second one, we have what? 3 comma what? 4. This is what is known as what? Solving a problem within a linear quadratic equation. Under what? Under simultaneous equation. So, if there is any question, if there will be any question or you have any question to ask, you can what? You can subscribe or you comment within the comment section. I'll be expecting your comments, whatever there is. I'll be expecting your comments. So this class is mainly based for the SSCE, GCE, NECO, JAM, and the likes. So if there will be anything, you can contact us on our number and our email. We will be happy to have your comments. Thanks and God bless.